Come.
The materials tier list. Woohoo! So, cool thing about this, I just realized that Opera GX has a built-in ad blocker. So, we won't have ads anymore on our tier list. We'd love to see it. Also, I essentially scoured... let's be honest. The wiki for 7 days is not updated. At all. Like, it still has, like, car air filters on it. But it's the only wiki I could find that had actually good images of, like, materials. So, keep that in mind. This is everything that I could think of material-wise. Some stuff on here probably isn't technically a material. But, I'm counting it as a material. Just because, like, why not? But I would say a vast majority of this could be seen as, like, a resource or material of some kind. So, let's get into it. Before I get too crazy, what I mean by these rankings is not simply, like, how... It's not just how good they are or how important they are. It's also going to be based on, like, how easy it is to get and how frequent they are found, like, in loot and stuff. So, for instance, like, plant fibers is going in C. Why? Because plant fibers they're really good early game, right? You need plant fibers for all the beginning tools and the beginning armor that you craft. And I think you can you still craft cloth out of plant fibers? Let's see. Yeah, so you can craft cloth out of plant fibers as well. I think you have to have the book though, right? Isn't it like... Yeah. 6, yeah. So, if you read the book, you can craft plant fibers. That's pretty cool. So, it's good for cloth, especially now with no clothing to scrap. It's a good one to have. But, it's plant fiber, guys. It's... Walk outside. I know touching grass is hard for a lot of people here, but just go outside. And you can get some. It's everywhere. So, it's very easy to get. I think you can even get it in, like, the desert if you're digging sand at the top level. I think you get clay and sometimes plant fiber. I could be wrong. But it's super easy to get. It's easy. So I can't put out and see. Cotton. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. Maybe it's just because I'm playing single player. I have so much cloth. Okay. I have too much cloth. So, cotton's main use is cloth. I don't even think there's really much else you can do with it. I'm sure there's probably a couple things, but I've never had a need for cotton. I think I have 1 cotton in here. Let's look at the recipes. Yeah. So, unless you're playing on such a massive multiplayer world that, like, you need cloth. Actually, you know what? It's going enough. Well, you will put in D only because it has a use. But, like, unless you're, like, unless you're in, like, multiplayer world that you need a lot of cloth, I find so much cloth, and you can break down any bed and almost any chair besides, like, the leather chairs. So, cloth is not a rare resource either, and so I can't put this D any higher than D. Snowballs. Kind of the same exact situation as cloth. The only use for it... I put this in the food chest, actually. It's a food item, technically, but the only use for snowballs now is yucca smoothies. Actually, you know what? I'll be fair to you guys. Shut up outside. I'll put it at C for you guys. Because yucca smoothies are insanely good food items, so it is useful to get some. But it's 1 per yucca smoothie, and as you saw, I had 500 snowballs. That was literally from 1 trip to the snow biome. So, it took like 10 seconds. So, it's super easy to get, but it does make the best drink item in the game, technically. So, I think I kind of have to put it at, like, C. I mean, C is not very high. So, I think C is a fair place. Like, just go to the snow biome when you unlock it. Dig up 500 with a shovel. If you one-hit snow especially. I think most people do, even when you get to the snow biome early. And just keep it in a chest somewhere, and you should always be able to craft whatever yucca smoothies you want. If you craft yucca smoothies. I got it because I was near the snow biome. I don't craft food. If you look at my perks tier list, you'll know I don't make food, so... It makes the best one in the game, so I can't complain too much, but it's not needed. It's not that hard to get. It's very easy. So just grab it once, store it away, never need it again. Doesn't need to rank that high. Wood. A. Yeah, it's easy to get. You know, in every biome. I mean, even in deserts, it's technically in, but I mean, it's obviously the smaller one. But it's everywhere. It's easy to get. You'll actually find it in buildings now. This is a junk item, I think, sometimes in trash. It's good. You need it for all building. So it obviously has to rank somewhat high on this list. The thing is that it's so easy to get, I can't put it in S. S is going to be reserved for, like, the cream of the crop kind of parts and resources that you need. So, A's good. It's basically, like, something that you should grab a fuck ton of, but it's not hard to grab a lot of. But you need it for all building. Clay will... where do I want to put clay? Oh, wait a sec. Let's put rock in A first, because I'm going to put stone in A. Stone is kind of the same thing as wood. It's needed for most building. You need it for both cobblestone rocks to make the upgraded version from wood to stone. And then you need it for the sand, the cement, and stone to make concrete mix for the next upgrade. So you need stone in a lot of quantities if you're going to craft all the resources. So, very good. Needed for most building upgrades, but at the same time, also everywhere. Literally just dig 3 down through the clay and you hit stone. If you're mining nitrite, if you're mining oil shale, and if you're mining coal, and I think iron, I could be wrong, I think you're also getting stone from that while you're mining that. That's how I got like 3 stacks of stone earlier yesterday. I literally just was digging a nitrite and stuff, and I got some. I got a ton. So, it's so easy to get. You can get it with every other resource at the same time that you're mining. So, I don't want to put it S, but it's still insanely important. I'm gonna keep wood here. What order it's in doesn't matter, but wood is slightly better in my opinion because it's useful for like actual survival. Like if you're in a building and you know you need to like build up or something because something broke, there you go. You can use wood to build up, and I know people are gonna say building up is cheating. I don't care. I don't do it unless I've already cleared out the POI, but still, it's useful. So wood's a little better than stone. I always carry wood on me, whereas stone I don't. But stone is something you're gonna need a lot of if you're gonna be, especially if you're building your own horde base. These materials you're gonna need thousands of. Unless you want to risk building the blocks separately and like the steel blocks and then risk breaking them or fucking up and having to break them. All right, well, yeah, we're gonna put clay in S. I kind of have to. Clay is also extremely easy to get. It's called the fucking dirt. It's like literally clay is the dirt block of 7 Days to Die. But you need it to craft cobblestone rocks, which is an upgrade resource. You need it for all steel and iron. You need it for bullet casings and bullet tips. Pretty much 90% of the stuff in the forge, you need clay. So, you need a lot of it. You're gonna need it for essentially any resource crafting that you get. That's the only reason why I'm putting it above is because of its impact in the forge. Because listen, I've cut down trees I think twice in the past 45 days in game 7 Days to Die. At the very beginning, and then when I was running around I've 3 times, sorry. So like I never have to cut down trees. I've never gone mining solely for stone. I've gone out and gone solely for clay. So clay is definitely something that you may run out of like fairly often because of the amount of steel and iron you'll need to craft. So you need clay. You need clay. Clay is like a must-have resource. With that being said, if you find clay in a POI, which you will sometimes in like junk loot, don't take it. Don't take it. If you're clearing out buildings for quests or for money and you're not doing resource collection, don't take it. You don't need it. Okay, clay's on the ground. What are you doing? Like, you need dirt to build incredible stuff in Minecraft, like for like gardening and farms. But if you found a dirt block in a dungeon chest, which they don't spawn in, but like if you did, would you take it? No, you wouldn't. Like, it's important. You'll need to get a lot of it, but it's not something you would take in a POI. So keep that in mind. It's one of the most important resources in the game, but it's not something that you're gonna have to, you know, pick up 30 of or 13 of in like a junk thing. Just leave it. Just leave it. But it's something you'll need a lot of. Sand. I'm putting it in B, and for one reason. And I'll show you. Shut up. I don't know how good this is. This is the key component of sniper success. So you craft scopes with it. I think in this, right? Oh! Yeah, so you need it in there. Sorry, let me do this. Okay, so you need it to craft all the scopes. I mean, I find enough scopes where I don't care. Hold on. Let me... Okay, it isn't that side good. I find enough scopes where I don't care. So, I don't think it needs to... we'll put it... We're gonna put... fuck! Yeah, see. No. There we go. Okay, that makes me feel a little better. Because, here's the thing. You need it for cement mix. Or concrete mix, excuse me. And so you're gonna need a lot of sand. If you're gonna make your own concrete mix, which I do. So it's good enough to be higher than these two, but it's not good enough to be like B tier. Because some of the stuff in the B tier I think is gonna be leagues better, and I don't think it's fair to put it in B. So, and this is only used for cloth, and you can make cloth out of plant fiber later game, and it's better to do it out of plant fiber, to be honest, than cloth. So just go with it. Okay. Sand is C. It has to be. Sand, crushed sand is good. It's good for resources, for concrete mix. That's it. So, concrete mix is vital, but I'm not gonna put it higher than C. Cloth is B. Now you may be wondering, why am I putting the two things that make cloth so low if cloth is B? Cloth is too easy to get to where you really need to craft it. I have not had to craft it once, and I have 4 stacks as I showed. So, I don't think it's that hard to get, even with friends. I mean, like, literally any house has a bed and couches, and those are almost always made out of cloth, so you don't need it. Just go break down some couches, grab like 3 tier 2 quests that are houses, clear them out, cut down the couches, start the quest, it resets all the furniture, then you break the furniture again, and do that a couple more times. You're gonna have hundreds of cloth. You don't need cloth, or you don't need that much cloth. It's good for early game when you're trying to craft the armor with the armor crafting kits. But that's it. You don't need too much of it after. I mean, you can make like bandages with it, but end loot is where I get all my meds. I have too many first aid kits at this point. So it's good. It's good for early game, but after that, it's kind of like a better version of plant fibers. So late game, you have so much of it, you don't need it. If you're in multiplayer and you're having trouble get it, just go hunt houses. If you're on like tier 5s and tier 6s, I think it's Higashi Tower. Could be wrong. Oh no, sorry, the apartment complex. I think it's called 2-bit Tower. Do the apartment complex. There's literally apartments everywhere with couches that I think are made of cloth and beds that are made of cloth. Do that. Just go through each level and just cut down the beds and you're fine. You'll get plenty. So it's not hard to get cloth. But it's super good. It's useful for early mid game to craft all your armor. So after you get your armor, it's pretty much gone, but you don't need any more. But it's a good resource. You'll need it. Leather. I'll put it the same. I think. There's something I'm thinking of that needed a lot of leather, and I don't remember what it is. Armor, obviously. Wait. Am I an idiot? So you do need it for these. Am I dumbass? Well, duct tape. Oh. And let me just make sure. Oh. That actually changes everything. I completely forgot. Never mind. Fuck me. That goes A. No, B. B. Sorry. It goes in B. I don't think it's as important as wood and stone, but you need leather at the beginning for forges to make the forge. You also need leather for some armors and some vehicles, but we'll put them A. We'll put them A. Fine. Cloth you can make duct tape out of, so I kind of have to put it A. Because duct tape is something you're gonna need a lot of as well. And then leather is also A, because you need it for the forge and you need it for vehicles. So they're both really good. They're useful for like crafting a ton of equipment. So I'm gonna put them A. Sorry, I know people are probably already typing in the comments, how dare you put them in B, but sorry, they're A. Animal fat. I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all. Outside of torches, I don't think I've ever had to use animal fat once for a crafting. I have 159 and I've never bought it. I just ate animal fat, son of a bitch. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've seen enough. Hold on, I didn't pause. I've seen enough. Animal fat is also going in D. I know people are gonna hate that, like, why you the food crafting? Shut up. Shut up. Okay? Food is not that hard to get. I'm tired of this, like, of people constantly talking about how hard food is to get. Like, vending machines have always consistently carried, like, 6 food items. You start off next to the food trader. Your first quests are literal houses with kitchens. And the quest rewards for tier 1 and tier 2 are food. Tier 1 buried supplies have guaranteed food in it. Food is not hard to get. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and debate about how, oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at all this food I have. I have so much food. Look at gumbo stew, meat stew. I have not crafted a single one of these things. I got them all from the fucking food shipments that you get from doing tier 5s and tier 6s. Like, shut up. Shut the fuck up. I am tired of this fucking oppression with people talking about how, like, all these food shits are good. I'm losing it. I don't give a fuck. It's D. It's trash. It's useless. Torches. We live in the modern era. You're watching this on an iPhone, probably. Yeah, I see you. Or Android. I don't judge. You're watching it on some high-tech device. Okay, we don't live in caveman ooga booga days where you need torches. Okay? Civil society. Electricity. Stop with this shit. I'm tired of it. You know that D. It's trash. Bones will be B, though. B for bones. B for boner. What? Anyways. Bones B. Bones are good. I do regret a little bit throwing out all my bones early game when I was just throwing them out of my inventory, because late game bones are super good. You make one of the best items in the game that I will put in A tier when I get to it. Bones make glue. Bones make glue, and glue is vital. You need a lot of glue. So bones are B. I think bones B is a good choice. It's good, it's useful, you need to make glue. Glue is one of the most important resources in the game, so bones is B. Feathers. D. You don't need a whole lot of feathers. They're easy to get, you find them in the things. Yeah, they're good for arrows early game, but like, outside of arrows, what do you do with feathers? Like, actually, genuinely, I actually don't know either. Like, you're noticing that, like, a lot of the shitty ones, I have to look up what they do because I don't know what else they do. Arrows. It's literally just arrows. Okay, yeah, no, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck your bows. I'd open the Microsoft Store by accident, I think. Did I? Fuck your arrows. It's going with cloth. Or cotton, I mean. If cotton makes only cloth and feathers only make arrows, they both have to be F. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, they're going F. They're not that hard to get. They're the easiest resource in the fucking game to get, which is look through some bird's nests, and you make plenty of arrows for life. Like, no. Just put them at the bottom. They're terrible. I don't use bows anymore, so it's like, no. I don't want the bows. Get away. Okay. I'll put it in D. Be grateful I'm putting rotten flesh in fucking D. You wanna know why I'm putting rotten flesh in D? Because every single one of you who likes to yell at me, are gonna be like, Shut up! Shut the fuck up! I get it! You guys love to farm. You want to play Stardew Valley, but you want to kill zombies at the same time, so you play this game instead. We're putting in D. After you make like 50... How many farm plots do you need? Go to one fucking funeral home and you get enough rotten flesh to last you forever. Like, it... No, it's not... No, shut the fuck up. I have 3 stacks of this shit, and I don't think I've used it once. No, wait, it's terrible. D. Stop. Testosterone's cool, though. Look at me. Look at my testosterone. Look at all the testosterone pumping through my vein. Look at this strength. Look at this high testosterone male. Alright, as you guys question whether I am a guy or a girl, it's B. Testosterone's B. It makes some good stuff. Steroids and I think cigars, right? Which are cool. Which are useful. You know, you get that strength buff, you get the trader buck, the bartering buff. So that's good. It's a good resource. They're also valuable. You can sell them for pretty good money. You only get it from bears. And I think maybe chem stations sometimes. So it's not common. You actually have to go out looking for it, and it's useful. If you don't have a cigar, then you'll want to craft a cigar. If you don't have any steroids are good, especially if you don't have parkour, because you'll need them for when you break your legs every 5 minutes, because you break your legs every 5 minutes without parkour. So, this is going in B, test steroids, and the cigar, such a good mod. You'll want them. You'll want a little bit of this. Obviously, once you get enough steroids and once you get a cigar, you don't really need it anymore, but it sells for a good price. So, it's even when you find some and you don't need it, make some money off it. So, good thing all around. For you guys, I'm pretty sure it sells... Where is my testosterone? Is it in mats? Yeah. Yeah, 135 dukes each. Oh, Jesus. So, 135 dukes for one is a lot. Like, find a couple bears, even zombie bears, and you'll get plenty. Especially if for some reason you decided to spec into the hunting perks. I don't know why you would do that, but... Even if you get more, I think, if you do that. So, it's good. Good thing to have. Good money. Chill. Alright. Another S tier. Iron. Iron. If you find iron, take that shit. And I mean it. I mean that. Take it. Because you will never have enough. Ever. Ever. You will never have enough iron. I have, I think, over 2.5 stacks right now, and I think I'm smelting 12k of it total, so 12,000 iron I'm smelting. I will go through that in, like, 3 days for the amount of forged steel I need. You need it. Anytime you find this. There should, honestly, like, if you kept a designated spot in your inventory solely for iron, I wouldn't blame you. Right? I keep a designated spot for wood that I carry, just so I can craft building blocks. I keep, like, 2,000 or 3,000 wood on me just because it's easy. It only takes up 1 slot. If you said, like, hey, I have a spot where I keep some iron on me just so I can always have a spot for it to always carry it, so I always can bring it back home, yeah, that's valid. You're gonna need this shit. You're gonna need a lot of this shit. If you find this, take this shit. In fact, some of the stuff down here, I'm gonna say, scrap it and turn it into this. So, take this shit. If you find it, take it. Obviously, if you find, like, 3 and you have, like, an inventory full of, like, sellables that are, like, hundreds of dukes, 200 of the dukes, obviously, don't take 3 iron. But, like, if you're raiding a POI, and let's say you find some stuff that you can scrap that turns into iron, yeah, just keep it all in 1 stack, scrap all of it, turn it all into iron, and if you need to smelt it into other stuff later, you can. That's how I look at it. Lead. We'll put it in A. I'm gonna put it in A for a couple reasons. Number 1, crafting car batteries. You can use car batteries for electricity, especially once you get the solar panel system going. You can kind of have a pretty good infinite electricity system. So that's nice. You also need it for bullet tips, and you need it for the robotic turret ammo. I know all you fuckers are gonna be like, oh, but the robotic turret ammo only takes lead. You don't need bullet cases. Chirping. I'm sorry. I know you guys love the robotic turret. Okay, I know I did y'all dirty with that, so I'll put this up here for y'all, because this is how you make your robotic turret ammo. So, you'll need a good amount of this. If you're gonna ever go into robotic turrets, take it. Take it. Nice thing is, a lot of the stuff you may find as well, you can scrap into lead. So normally how I look at things is if it's not something that's super valuable to me, and it scraps to lead, just scrap it. And you can just smelt it in your forge and then turn it into something else or turn it into that same thing later. Because it opens up more inventory if you just turn everything into like the base resource of iron and lead. That's how I look at it. B for brass. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I've only found a use for brass in bullet casings. I don't know what else you could even, like, I don't think you can do much else with brass. I also just realized I think I smelted the last of my brass. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. We'll craft one real quick. Just so I can, like, do this. Oh, it's literally just for the forge. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Just... Yeah. Yeah, it's just for bullet casings. Okay, so we set that record straight. It's literally only for bullet casings. So, B. I mean, bullets are... You're in a fucking zombie apocalypse game. I would argue bullets are pretty useful. So... We'll put it for B. It also sells for a pretty good amount of money. So honestly, if I get bullet casings, this might sound really stupid. Because other stuff scraps into brass besides bullet casings, but you could only really craft bullet casings. And I think one other thing, the car thing. Why am I blanking? The brass radiator. Jesus. So those are the only two things you can craft with brass that I know of that is actually useful. I actually just straight up scrap both the radiator and the bullet casings. Just like that. Sorry. I scrap it off rip. In fact, I'll actually do this right now. So we're gonna put these both in D tier. We'll put this in D and this in C. The radiator is only good for, I think, crafting like 1 or 2 vehicles, and then you don't ever need it again. The bullet casings obviously make bullets. I scrap both of these to get all brass, so it takes up 1 inventory slot. Because you can only carry 5 of these in a stack anyways, so if you get more than 5 of these, that's already 2 inventory slots. But I just turn it all into brass, and then if I need bullet casings later, I make bullet casings. But just scrap it all into brass. I think it saves inventory space, saves time. It takes a while to scrap in your inventory. I mean, if you don't need inventory space, fine. Like, keep these as they are. But if you need inventory space, I just scrap these 2 to make brass. So, and we'll actually do lead stuff right now real quick, too. So we'll do the bullet tips. We'll put it with the casings, and we'll put the buckshot with it as well. Same thing with the 2 lead things here and here. I'm not gonna do the car batteries right now, I'll do those later. But bullet tips and the buckshot also see. Kind of the same thing. It's only meant for crafting ammo of some variety. So just if you're not gonna craft the ammo as soon as you get back, I would just scrap it into lead. And then you can just smelt it and make it into lead later. Like, it just saves so much inventory space to do that. So, or into these things later. So, although if you have the space, you can just carry them as they are. I would just scrap them into lead if you don't, or brass if you don't, and it makes life a lot easier for inventory. Inventory management for the win. All right, we're going back to the beginning. Sorry, I just realized I probably should have done those together. It made more sense. All right, potassium nitrate. Yeah, we'll put it in C. Because... I'm like 90% certain it only really is good for like 2 things. Yeah. So, you need it for gunpowder, antibiotics, and farm plots. Here's the thing. Me personally, I never carry old sham sandwiches, so I'm not going to make the regular antibiotics on my own. I'm probably going to buy them. And then I never make the herbal antibiotics because I feel like that's just a waste of time when I can just go use antibiotics or honey. So, although I think infection is annoying and it's one of the more difficult things to treat in this game, especially early to mid game, this sole purpose is gunpowder. Mainly for me, and farm plots, but again, I hate farming. So, I think this is a C tier one because it's kind of like related to these. You use it for bullets and explosives. So it's a good one to like get like a few stacks of like I did, and then just kind of just use it as you need it for gunpowder. So that's how I look at it. Just Get a few stacks of it real quick, especially if you have maxed out on the resource gathering perks like Miner 69er and Motherload, and then you can just craft as much gunpowder as you'll ever need. So, I think that's kind of the best solution for nitrite. Speaking of gunpowder, coal will be A tier. No B. I think it's fair to put B. The reason I'm putting coal at B is because the only main uses is for fuel and for gunpowder. That's it. That's it. There's no other use other than coal and fuel and gunpowder. I'm putting it higher than nitrite because it's for gunpowder too, but its only other use is really for farm plots and infection cures, and I think the fuel source is significantly better than those things. Because again, you can buy infection cures. So coal B, I think that's a pretty good spot for it. I mean, it's one of the best fuel sources in the game. There's a lot of it everywhere. In fact, one of the tier, I think 2 quest rewards, could be wrong, is 500 coal. So just take that and you'll never run out of coal again. It's also used for gunpowder. So if you do ever start crafting your own gunpowder, which some people do, I occasionally do, you're gonna need a lot of it. So I'd recommend mining it, but it's a good one to have. It's not as good as like lead and stuff because it has so few uses, but it's still good. It's still good. Oil shale. Hey. It's similar to like clay and wood and like these things. They're not hard to get, but I wouldn't pick it up if I found it in a building. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I do use it if I do if I have space, I'll take it. But you go to the desert, you can get so much oil shale. I'm making 30,000 gas right now from one trip from the desert, and it took me like 2 hours in game to do. So it took me like 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes, you get 30,000 gas. It's easy to get, but gas is also one of the most important things in the game. You need it for generators, and you need it for your car, or your motorcycle, or your gyrocopter, or your mini bike, whatever you want to ride. So, pretty good, pretty useful thing. You're gonna need a lot of it. So if you don't live near a desert, or you don't ever go to the desert on your way to certain places, find it, because you're gonna need oil shale at some point. Cobblestone rocks, we'll put it C. The only real use is to upgrade your blocks for defense. And early game, this is a good one to have, and we're gonna put cement there as well. Because it's only used for concrete mix, really. So like both these are like, this is really good for early game. But you're gonna upgrade past it pretty quick. And so after you get past that first initial boundary, you're never gonna really need it again unless you're building a new base or upgrading from like a building block up to concrete or steel. You'll need it to do that. But outside that, you won't need a ton, in my opinion, unless you're building your base from scratch at the very beginning, like day 1, you build your base from scratch, then yeah, you'll need some. But it's not hard to make. It literally just takes this and this. Rock and clay in a workbench in your inventory, and you can make some. So super easy to get, only has one real use. So easy to make. Oh wait, no, sorry, I lied. I almost forgot. The forge. You need it for the forge as well, so I should put it in B. I think it's fair. You need it for the forge. You need it to craft the forge, and obviously the forge is a vital workbench. So, or workstation. Definitely need some. But late game, it'll lose its uses. But if you build your base from scratch, you'll need it. So it's a good one to have. A tier. Cement, I'm gonna keep it C tier because I'll keep it C because it only makes concrete mix. So, and again, this is just made from this in the forge. So it's not hard to make. You'll need a lot of it, but it's not hard to make. It's super easy to make, and it doesn't do anything other than make this. So like, it's just annoying. It's just a middleman from this to this, because this, the concrete mix, is only made from rock. Concrete mix is made from sand, cement, and rock. Sand is made from rock. Cement is made from rock. It's all made from rock. It is just 3 different like levels of crushness mixed into one. Okay? Like it's dumb. It's just like, hey, how can we convolute making cement or concrete mix? Fuck, this is cement. So these are the easiest things to make. I think I kind of have to keep them at the same tier. I think it makes sense. And this is just so easy. This is so useful though. Like there are like, I keep saying like, a lot of your main base will be made of this. No, we won't put it in S. A lot of your base will be made of this. They won't be attacked. So, like, a lot of people will just upgrade to this and stop, and they'll make specific spots of their base steel. Because it doesn't make sense to make your whole base steel. But this is still really, really good. And, it's really easy to make. It's, well, not really easy to make. It just takes time to make. You need a cement mixer, of course, but it's good. And you need a lot of it. So, I'm gonna put an A with these. Paper? I don't have a lot of uses for paper. Here's why. Watch. There's 4. Now, I think dynamite is kind of useless. I'm sorry. You may disagree. I don't play Farm Make. That's good enough. Still, I think dynamite's useless. Unless you're mining, like breaking like making a giant pit. But I just don't like using things that break a ton of like blocks. So if you use it, great, but I don't like dynamite. Shotgun shells, obviously insanely vital. And the cigar, as I said earlier, is also insanely vital. So it's gonna go with actually we'll put it with plant fibers because technically this is also used in dynamite and cigars, so it makes sense to keep them on the same level. No, you can make shotgun shells with it. You need it for shotgun shells. I think it makes sense to keep it with the ammo stuff. So, yeah, C is a fair one. It's mainly used for ammo though. Again, like these. That's its primary use right now. Maybe in maybe in future updates they'll give it uses, but right now it's only for ammo mainly. Unless you really love dynamite, I guess, and breaking blocks and shit. So, it's really what you're gonna use it for. Scrap polymers! B. You need it for a lot. If I remember correctly, you need it for like a fuck ton of stuff. Like you need a lot of this. Yeah. Oh, not the cooler, obviously, but like a lot of mods you need it for. You'll need it for certain ammos, turrets, more mods. Mods out the ass with auto turrets like the shotgun turret and the SMG turret, drum mags, dew collectors, which you need like 100 for, I think. So it's just a very all-around needed resource. It's useful. It's not going to be used daily, but it's useful. You'll need it to craft stuff. So anytime you need mods, you'll probably need some of this, and so it makes sense to have a good amount of it. I would have a slot for it in my inventory when it comes to like POIs, but it would also be one of the first resources I drop if I have like less than 10 of it. So, and you also don't find like a ton. So, unless you're breaking things. So it's useful. You'll need it, but think of it as like I'll take it, but if I find something that's higher up on this list, specifically in S, other than clay, I should probably take it. Gunpowder! We're gonna put above the bullets because it's also used for explosives. Every explosive. Pipe bombs, C4, I believe, I would assume. It's used for contact grenades, regular grenades, dynamite, all bullets. Used for some, I think it's even used in like awesome sauce, right? Am I crazy? Oh yeah, it's using blackstrap coffee, my bad. So, it is used in some good stuff. Used in every bullet in the game, obviously, because that's how bullets work, surprisingly. So, put it in B. I think it's fair. It's like slightly better than these things because it's used in every bullet, whereas these are only used in some. And nails. Fight me. Fight me. Just scrap these. Just scrap them. I scrapped these. Like, you know, fine, I'll put these in B. But nails have to be in F. I'm sorry. D. So these will be in D. Straight up, I scrap these the moment I see them, but obviously if you use bows, you may keep it. But bows are not something a lot of people, like, always use till endgame. So I scrap these for the iron, so it takes up less inventory space. And I always scrap the nails because nails take, like, 1 iron, 1 clay. So I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? It's dumb. So I always scrap all 3 of these. I recommend you do as well. But if you use bows, I'll put them in D for the bow users, so they're not in F. But, I mean, even if you're a bow user, just for inventory's sake, I would scrap these and then just craft the arrow tips when I'm back at base. Because it's just so much extra inventory. It takes up a whole slot. So I would just put these in. I would just scrap these on the spot, but that's just me. Short iron pipes, we'll put in B. There's a lot that you actually need to craft these things. You need it for workbenches. You need it for, I think, forges. You need it for all the pipe weapons at the beginning of the game, and it repairs all the pipe weapons at the beginning of the game. So it's basically an early repair kit in a lot of respects. And every once in a while, like, when I'm trying to do shit, I'll, like, find out I need, like, 2 of these, and then I'm like, fuck, I scrapped them all. So I have to go make more. But early game, these are, like, would be higher, and then late game, these would be lower, so I'm gonna meet them in the middle here, put B. So. But if you're not using pipe weapons anymore, and you're in, like, the mid-game, where you actually have, like, an AK, a 9mm pistol, stuff like that, I would scrap these. Turn them in iron. Because, again, you can make them. Anything that's not hard to make, that doesn't take a lot of resources, I just scrap, and then that way I have a lot more inventory space. And that's kind of what the main point of this tier list is for inventory stuff. So, scrap it, late game, early game, take it for repair kits, or repairing your pipe weapons, stuff like that, specifically. Springs are gonna be in a similar situation, except I wouldn't scrap them nearly as much, because they're a lot more rare, and you can't craft them. So springs, although are used in less stuff, cannot be crafted. So if you, I don't think they can be. I'm like 90% certain you can't craft springs in this. Let's see. Yeah. So, where are my springs? There they are. I only have 13, because you get a lot from cars, but that's it. But you need springs for actually a lot of stuff. Holy shit. Yeah, okay. Yep, never mind though, you know what? Sorry. I wasn't familiar with the springs game. I apologize. Hey. It's used for most guns. It's used for a lot of vehicles, if not all vehicles, and it's used for a lot of the doors. And you only really get them, I don't say only, but like the main place is cars. When you're using a wrench to break down cars, you'll get a few. So definitely springs are great. But you know, you can't craft them. They do make metal, so, like, obviously if you know you have a lot of springs, you can scrap them into metal, but I wouldn't scrap them. I'd actually carry them, because you're going to need them for a lot of stuff. Alright. 2 more S tiers. Electric and mechanical parts. These bad boys are used in a lot. Especially the mechanical. They're annoying to get. Mechanical parts are harder, in my opinion, in a lot of ways. You get them from breaking down like ACs, and you get them from breaking down cars, and certain other things, like, I can't remember exactly what, but there's a couple other things that you can break down to get them, but they're rare. They're not super common. I think you also get them from passing gas boxes, but not a lot. You like 4. Electrical parts, you get from computers, TVs, I think you can get them from cars as well, and then you get them from, like, those, like, silver, like, boxes that have, like, the knobs and stuff on them in, like, factories, if you use a wrench on them. So, both these, pretty important, pretty necessary, especially if you're going to use, like, any turret of any kind, you're going to need these, I think, and these, but especially these, and you're just going to need them for any advanced and late game crafting, so make sure you stock these. I mean, if you have 1 mechanical part, drop it, obviously, if you need inventory space, but outside of that, I would keep these on you. Not on you, like, to carry, but, like, I would, if you find some, take them and keep them, because they're vital for late game stuff. You need them for mostly everything of value. Engines and batteries. Here's why. Here's why I'm putting batteries below engines. Engines do not have a durability. Batteries do. Now, yes, you can recharge batteries with solar panels. Have you seen the fucking prices of solar panels? Tier 1 solar panels are like 19,000 dukes. 20,000 dukes. They're extremely expensive. Whereas engines never break and only need gas to run. And maybe the fun pimps are just haters of Tesla, but oil shale's easy as fuck to get. As I mentioned, I'm making 30,000 gas right now, and 1,000 gas fills up a generator. And that shit lasts for like a day or two, I think. It lasts for a while. So, engines are too good right now to put them below the batteries or make them equal. I would argue two things. Number one, batteries need to recharge faster with solar panels, like almost to max. If you have like, let's say you have a full solar panel array of like tier like 5 solar panels. If you have tier 6 batteries, it should charge all 6 within a day. That's the only way they can compete with engines, or make engines have durabilities that you have to like repair with like repair kits or something like that. That is the only way you can make these equal. You have to either buff the batteries or nerf the engines. So one or the other, but right now engines are way too good. They're way too good for power use. I'm not saying batteries are bad. Like if you do get a solar bank and get a good amount of solar panels, then yeah, I mean you can have unlimited power, but it's a lot of money that you have to spend to get to that. And to me, when I get basically unlimited gas, it's not worth. Headlights are good, obviously, for like, you know, specific lighting fixtures and vehicles. The only other reason why I would keep them is to sell. They're valuable. They actually are. They're like 50 to 60 dukes a piece, I think. I can just check right now. I have some. Don't fucking tell me I don't. Thank you. 40. Thank you. So 40 dukes for one thing is not bad, especially a thing that stacks. So, I mean, if you find like if you're breaking down cars and you have like 10 or 12, that's almost 500 dukes for free. So, I would take them. I would take them and sell them. But obviously, if you need to make inventory space, you can drop them. They're only used for vehicles and for certain lighting fixtures. They're not, like, not useful, but they're kind of like these, where they're kind of either have one use, or you just sell them or scrap them. So, not super valuable other than for money, but still not a horrid item. Not like these three that are basically useless. I think that's fair. Oil's an interesting one, because oil is going to be very dependent on what do you like to do when you play the game. And the reason for that is when I look at the recipes, right? Like, obviously you have like some mods, the dart trap, the crucible, which is kind of important. But I buy the crucible 95% of the time. Turrets, you know, a lot of like the gun stuff. Do you not need it for paint anymore? Oh, you don't need it for paint. Oh, this is a definite A. I'm thinking of Undead Legacy. My bad, guys. Yeah, so it's definitely an A. I'm thinking of Undead Legacy stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's used for a lot of different turrets, weapons, or turrets and mods. Jesus, fuck, what can I speak? It's used for turrets, mods, stuff like that. It's useful. It's also hard to get. Like, you need to use your oil shell for it, or you have to find it, and it's not super common. So, yeah, this is fine. No, B. I think A's needs to be reserved for really, really good stuff. And as you saw, I have a lot of it. So unless you're, like, making Molotovs on your own, you're making a ton of them, it's good, it's good. It's not, and it's valuable, so you can sell it. But it's not, if you already made all the cars you need, and turrets you need, yeah, I have a lot of it and I never use it. So I don't think it can be A, just compared to this stuff, but still something that's useful for serious situations. Gas gotta be an A. Gas gotta be higher than this. It fuels all your cars, it fuels all the turrets if you use generators. Fuels your lighting if you use generators, right? Like, if engines are A, gas has to be A, because it's there. I guess I could have put solar panels on here, technically. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it in a minute. Let me open up a new window. Whoa, what the fuck happened? No, okay, it's over here. It's over here, thank you. Okay, hold on one second. Let me do the next one. So, okay, we'll look for this up in a second. All right, glue kind of needs to be S tier. glue and duct tape. I mean, they fill a similar purpose. They're both going to be needed on almost every single project and every single crafting item that you can do. From guns to cars, you're going to need it. And so I really think that you should take it. You should anytime you can take them, take it. That's why I said bones were pretty good, because you can craft this. Bones and cloth together make this. So you need them. They're vital. They're used in almost everything. So yeah, I strongly recommend using them. Let me open this up. Sorry, let me real quickly. There we go. Solar cell, we'll do that now since we did batteries and stuff. Didn't see. Like, the solar cell I'm sure is great, but like when it's 100,000 dukes to make one solar bank, why the fuck would I use it? When this is so much easier to get than these and these, it's like I'm gonna just use these. So I don't like them. I don't like solar cells. If they made them a little cheaper, or if you could craft them. You can't even craft these things. So if you can't craft them and you have to buy them and they're 20,000 dukes each. And the solar bank I think is like 6K. I don't know the exact amount. It's not as cheap, but like the fucking panels themselves are. So I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like them. Make them cheaper, make them craftable, do something to raise it. Otherwise, no. If I have to explain why broken glass is F, I'm sorry, you've never played this game in your life. Like, that's it. I'm not elaborating. I don't even think you need to use rocket casings anymore, do you?
Master, we are not alone.
Yeah, oh, then you do. Oh, you do need the rocket casings and tips. Okay, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. You do need them still. I just never make rockets because I honestly think that rockets just... meh. I'll put them up with other ammo crafting stuff. But, again, you know... what else is... they make rockets, guys. I don't know how else I can explain that. They're the exact same thing as every other ammo craftable in the game. Just scrap them if you find them. And then you can craft them later if you really need to craft it. But I just buy my rocket ammo and I never run out. I don't even use the rocket very often to begin with. So, just scrap them if you find them. If you really want to craft your own rockets, fine, take them. But they're not that great. They're not that great. Hey. Acid is good. It's used for very specific things. It's used for very, like... it's used for very specific stuff. Like, I have a decent amount of it, but you don't find it very often, and it's used for, like, you know, making this. Yeah, see? It's used for specific stuff. So, like, you need it for Grandpa's Learning Elixir. You need it for moonshine. You need it for chem stations and car batteries. Shut up there. But, again, it's, like, it's good. It's not gonna be S because it's only for specific things, but the things are so damn good, like the chem station and the batteries. Like... and like learning elixirs and stuff. Actually, we'll put it in B. Sorry, I'm glazing up too much. I'm glazing too much. Here's why I'm putting it B and not A. Two reasons. Number one, if batteries are at B, I don't want to put what you need to craft it in A. Number two, you only need it for one chem station, maybe two, and you're done. You don't need to make chem stations anymore. So, sorry, I'm in my Spotify. So it's useful, like, obviously keep it if you find it, but after you find, like, 20 to 30, you never need it again. So, maybe add a few more uses or buff the batteries to make this better, but for now it's just kind of in there just to exist and be needed for specific stuff. But it's good. If you find it, take it. It's rare. We'll put it in A. It's rare. It's rare, so it's rare enough to where you need to pick it up. And it just exists. Acid's such a hard one for me. I don't know if I'd put it in A or B. You guys can decide that. You guys can decide that. How about that? Because it's like right in the middle. It's like, it's yeah, we'll keep it at A just because of how rare it is. But if they don't have more uses for it, it's kind of just for specific stuff and nothing else. It's for very few things. Boop. Boop. If this is S, these have to be S. By logic. You will go through so much goddamn forged steel late game. You have no idea. It's like 100 and like no, it's like 200 something for some stuff. Like I realized I had a tier 5 auto shotgun and not tier 6. It's 150 forged steel for a fucking tier 6 auto shotgun, for Christ's sake. 150 just for one gun. Then you have to do it for the M60. Then you have to do it for like an impact driver. Then you need the 10 steel per block you want to upgrade. This shit's S. This is S because it makes repair kits. It's also used for a lot of the intermediate guns that you're crafting, so you're gonna need it as well for those things. These just are used in so many recipes that you need to fucking rank, like, get better stuff. Almost said rank up. You have to put these in S. I'm sorry, these have to be in S. What if I just put it in F by accident? No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, I had to make a thumbnail shot. Okay. These are all gonna be C. We'll put them in B. Or A, I mean. And the old cache. You may be wondering, why are you putting those in A? You know, they don't make anything really. I mean, the diamond stuff makes one mod, but it doesn't make anything else after that. Fuck! Let me repeat that shot. Money. Okay. Sorry, my mic disconnected. Anyways, you need money. You need money. And these things make a lot of money, especially this. Listen, man, you find thousands of this and you'll get like 7,000 dukes from it. 8,000 dukes from it. Money sells for a lot. Let me put it this way. Watch. I have like 500 in my sell chest right now. 999, so you get 2 dukes per $1. 1,600. 67. That's actually not as much as I expected. It's money. It's money. It's worth money. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. You know what? Just so I can be fair, put that in B. But these things make you money. That's what they're here for, baby. Take it. I also just realized the gold and fucking silver nuggets are just textured differently colors. That's wild. Take them. They're money makers. You'll find them at every, like, pretty much every tier 5 and tier 6 end loot. At least one of these. So make some good money off it. Quick dukes. Quick cash. You can buy pretty much any of these other resources with these. So why wouldn't you take it? S. Legendary parts, the newest resource, kind of has to be S. Because you need it for anything that has a rank. So anything that has a tier, like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, you need. Which means that if you're crafting your auto shotgun, you need one for an auto shotgun, you need one for an M60. You need one if you want to craft a sniper, you need one if you want to craft a Desert Eagle, and you need one if you want to craft one lead battery level 6, Jesus. So, you're going to be using these if you're making these, tier 6. So you need these. You need them, and you really only get them from tier 6 or tier 5 end loot. I don't know about tier 5, but I know about tier 6. You get them from tier 6 occasionally. And you find them sometimes in other loot things, but not too often. And then you also get them as end loot or end quest rewards. So they're rare. I have like 17 total on this world, and I've found like 4 others. So I've found like 20. And so in 45 days, I've probably found enough to craft all the tools and stuff at tier 6. I haven't even done it yet, but I found enough. So they're rare. You need them. I do a fuck ton of tier 6 and tier 5 quests, so you need them. You need them. These are ones you're able to hold on to and craft every fucking weapon you could ever and tool you could imagine. So yeah. And that is it. If I missed any resources, please let me know. This felt like a vast majority of them. I know damn well the moment I upload this, there's gonna be hundreds of not hundreds, but like dozens of comments of people saying, "You forgot this!" Yeah, I know. I'm stupid. Don't yell at me. But this was kind of just based off like what I use and need and how difficult it is to get. Like, you'll notice a lot of these are things I don't use anymore really at all, or a lot of to begin with. But as we get up higher and higher, you're gonna notice that like all of these are things you must get. All of these things are pretty much must gets, but they're not super hard to get. And then like these are kind of like they're nice to have. They make life a lot easier if you get them. And then basically C and below is kind of like they exist. C and D are kind of like they exist and they have specific niche uses, but nothing too crazy. And F is if they remove them from the game, I probably wouldn't notice. I wouldn't notice if feathers disappeared. I'm just gonna be honest. Other than when I searched my first bird's nest, I'm like, oh wow, there's only eggs in here. That's shocking. That'd be the only time. So, not needed. C and D are like, on occasion, very niche. B and above, if you do find them, I would recommend keeping them unless they're the very, like the clay, the wood, and the stone in POIs. If you find those in POIs, you don't need to keep them. But that's also dependent on your whole, like, what you need for resources. For me, I don't keep these if I find them in POIs. I just mine them myself. But that's just me. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the entire tier list right here. So, can I move these? I can move them, right? Yeah, let me leave them. But yeah, that is the materials tier list.